Over the eons, countless species have flourished, then perished. In the town of Snowfield, 4 of us met an inhuman intelligence.
The first thing we need to know is what we're dealing with here. What kind of threat it is. Biological, chemical, or other.
Well, I'm leaning toward other.
Hey, you want to see something?
Welcome, everybody, to Midnight Cinema. I am Art Hennessy in San Diego.
And I am Timothy Flight, the ancient enemy. That's probably the worst impersonation I could do right there. I'm at full disclosure, I'm not Timothy Flight. I'm Erik Rodenheiser from Salem.
You do have hair a little bit like Timothy Flight in this movie, I have to say.
Yes, Well, while I'm failing this, I can see the resemblance. Just wait.
So
I am Timothy Flight. Pulling my eyes
Eric's
down.
pulling his eyes down. That long face that Peter O'Toole has.
100%.
For those of you who might be confused, we're talking this week about the movie Phantoms, filmed in 1998. It stars Peter O'Toole, Rose McGowan, Joanna Going, Ben Affleck, Nicky Katt, and Liev Schreiber. And
are you sure? That
yes.
doesn't sound accurate for a cast at all. They sure we're not like just doing like Lawrence of Arabia, but it was the reimagining with Rose McGowan.
The reimagining of Lawrence of Arabia. There's some Lawrence of Arabia in this movie. They made sure to do it because they were smart. They were smart and got Peter O'Toole for this movie. Best move that they could do for the movie. Also, some of this other cast. But these are, as Erik mentioned, we know a lot of these actors. We've seen them throughout the years. But this was sort of, for several of them, just at that beginning, they were starting to pop. This is the sort of just past the mid-90s, 1998. So we're seeing some Muppet Baby versions of actors that we've gone on to know and love. We're seeing a Muppet Baby Ben Affleck in this movie.
All right, holy crap, that is accurate. Muppet Babies, referring to the actors. Yes.
Right?
I swear to God, there was because of the acting in this movie, I would swear to God that some of them probably had someone's arm way up their butt and their hands were operated by sticks.
And it's interesting because these are people we would know of as pretty good actors, if not great actors, some of them that are in this cast.
Right.
However, yes. So 1998, this movie, Phantoms, here's the interesting thing, Erik. We're always going to tell our audience here that we spoil everything. This is a deep dive podcast. So if you want to see the movie, go see the movie, come back, and then listen to us and have fun. This is a movie based on a book that I think both you and I really enjoyed when we read it. I read it before I saw this movie, long before I saw this movie. And you like the book, right?
I don't remember how the book is that different, but I remember loving the book and the mystery that was unraveling. I thought Dean Koontz's writing was really good. And I remember it was sort of a monster novel too. I remember that. And I also remember, Art, when the movie came out, and I was so excited, because of the poster, just their faces. It looked like any other poster from the 90s where they were just doing people's faces. Like it's Ben Affleck face. They're all facing you. It says nothing about the movie.
Right.
But then I went to the movie and I was like, oh, shit. So, I guess people know now. We review it at the end, but you can tell by my dialogue so far. Man, what the fuck?
Yeah, so this is my point, Erik, where we usually tell the audience, go watch the movie, come back, enjoy our conversation. I might tell the audience in this case, go read the book. Go read the book, Phantoms.
And then be even
then
more upset.
Maybe watch the movie, or just listen to us, and we're going to have some fun here on this podcast.
Just listen to the podcast first. Yeah, because
right. And then go.
Then you'll have a sense. Like, lower your expectations as far as you can go. I think there's
Yeah.
some good things about the movie.
Now
so.
let's start with something that you mentioned. This was an era where every movie was just, let's put the sexy young people on the poster and let the poster have nothing to do with what the movie is. A good example, Eric, I think The Faculty had a poster like this too, where it was just a row of people. And it really doesn't sell you with what that movie is. We'll probably cover that movie at some point in our podcast.
Oh, The Faculty?
Yeah, we'll probably cover that. But
I just saw something that said it's either in talks or it's happening. There's supposed to be a remake of The Faculty.
Perfect. We can get ready for it.
Reimagining.
Reimagining. But I do want to point out, this gets to the heart of the problems with this movie, I think, right off the bat. That poster for Phantoms is not even a real photograph of those people. They composited it from different movies that they had already been in and composited it also with the bodies of other people from other movies. Yes, that is like a completely created photo. So they took like Ben Affleck's face from Chasing Amy, and they took Rose McGowan's face from the Scream one of the Scream posters, and they kind of composited them into this weird poster of just a bunch of people looking at you, and it says Phantoms. And so you're like, if you look at that poster, you're like, are they the Phantoms? Are they looking at the Phantoms? What are the Phantoms? It's a strange title for this movie. We're going to get into it, and for the book too, but you come to understand what they mean, but it's still kind of a strange title.
And I think the poster that you're talking about, when Peter O'Toole is on it, he's as far back as they can get him. I'm as far back as I can.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming. As far back as I can get myself.
Yes.
So bad.
Right. I'm surprised he's so far back. I'm surprised he's not taking a nip from a bottle in the back.
I'm going to
thinking he's not even in there.
See the movie.
So this movie was a Weinstein production, notable to Miramax at the beginning of the movie. So this was one of those movies, and I do want to talk a little bit about where the cast was here. So like Ben Affleck is in this movie, and this is a running joke, I guess, in the Kevin Smith world because of one line, right, Eric, that was in a movie. Do you want to say how that sets right?
Like, yo, Ben Affleck, you was the bomb in Phantoms, yo, or something like that. Right?
Yeah, it's yeah, it's Jay and Silent Bob, and Jay says that to Ben Affleck in one of their movies where I think it's Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and they meet Ben Affleck, and he makes sure to say that to Ben Affleck.
I think there was another one, I think, where they were going back and forth, Affleck and Matt Damon. It was like, Phantoms, like they were talking about.
So Ben Affleck actually says it's utter garbage when he looks back on it, but it's an interesting placement because Ben Affleck, I looked at the timing of the filming of this movie. It came out in 1998. It was filmed in 1996. We're talking about Ben Affleck is really popping. They're filming Good Will Hunting probably around the same time that they're filming this. So Ben Affleck has been in movies up to this point, but he's not a huge megastar, but he's working, and this is one of the things he does. And when he looks back on it, I love how he describes it. He says, it's utter garbage, but I got to go skiing for a couple of weeks in Colorado while filming it. He goes, and I made $100,000. So I thought, as a 20-year-old, I'm ready to I can retire. I thought
so he was 20,
22 in that area. I think what he's saying, exaggerating, but I think he was probably he was definitely younger 20s. Which is a big problem with the casting in this, which he admits, which we'll get to. Because
he looks like, in the movie, he looks like he's Justin Bieber's next door neighbor, and they hang out and go skateboarding.
Yeah, and Rose McGowan would be coming off of Scream here. She was sort of in that Miramax stable of actors, and so was Ben Affleck. A lot of those Chasing Amy and those movies were Harvey Weinstein Miramax productions. And I'm probably thinking that some of these people, Harvey Weinstein was notorious for signing people to deals, and That's all he's notorious for, Eric. Was there something else that you thought Harvey Weinstein was notorious for?
No, not signing deals, I think, was the big one in the news.
Yeah, and he created a lot of,
and gaining weight.
So yes, but one of the things as far as making movies that Harvey Weinstein would do is he would get these young actors in these movies, but they're signed for deals, and then these actors become more famous, and they're like, they want to do a lot bigger films, and then Harvey Weinstein would be like, oh no, you have to do 2 more pictures with me. And they're trying to work with Steven Spielberg or work with all these people. And Harvey Weinstein, sometimes to spite them, would be like, all right, tell you what, you have 2 pictures left with me. You'd come to Colorado and do this movie Phantoms, and I'll let you out of one of them. So he would do a lot of that type of stuff with people. And so I got the feeling people end up in these movies where they're not, if you watch some of these Weinstein movies that didn't do so well, you're like, oh, these people are here under duress, really onerous contract terms. And I think they're trying to make the best of it. So I want to set the stage for what's probably, to me, I don't have any confirmation of this. I'm sure there's a few people on this that are not liking that they're here and are just going to grin and bear it. Ben Affleck, probably one of them.
Okay, so I don't want to go down the whole Ben Affleck rabbit hole / timeline, but I'm intrigued because you said that they hadn't done Good Will Hunting, like that wasn't out yet.
While he was filming this, it probably hadn't been out yet. It was probably coming out around this time. So he had probably already filmed that.
Matt Damon wasn't really was the newcomer then. Is that right? Ben
Affleck definitely had a lot more experience than Matt Damon growing. Ben Affleck, we have to remember, he was in like after school specials and things when he was a teenager. Right. Yeah, he was the steroid rage guy. Remember, if you go online, you can see the clips. He's like a guy who's roided out on steroids in like an after school special.
Oh, nice.
He was in Dazed and Confused, which sometimes people forget. He was in that movie. He was kind of the villain in that movie. So he actually had a little bit more experience than Matt Damon coming into the sort of Hollywood scene. Yeah, the Good Will Hunting would have been coming out, but I think around this time, because Armageddon came out the same year as this.
Armageddon
came out in 98. And so Ben Affleck he's making this movie while he's also starting to get bigger. So this was
$100,000. You said $100,000,
right? But this was, remember, it's at that time where he's probably just starting to get things like that. Hey, you can be the lead in a movie, because even Good Will Hunting, he's not the lead in that movie.
Yeah.
So
that's like Muppet Baby money for actors.
Yeah, they can spend that, man.
See how I did that? Muppet Baby money? Because oh, I love that. I'm going to call everybody a Muppet Baby.
Then he's probably making you're right, Eric, because when you think about it, he's making $100,000 for Phantom, and then he's probably making like $5 million for Armageddon.
Right. Probably, he goes, this is the money. Oh,
this is what the money is. Can I go back and get rid of this Phantoms movie?
Can I buy a ski resort now instead of just going skiing?
Exactly. So let's talk about the movie.
Really? I thought it was just going to be the Ben Affleck.
Let's talk about the movie.
Midnight Cinema, the Ben Affleck journey. No? All right, fine. We'll talk about Phantoms then.
And there's a couple of good performances in here that we do need to talk about, which save the movie from just utter forgettableness.
Right.
I think you know who I'm talking about.
Sure.
He's doing the best that he can, and he does a good job of it. But
well, let's go into it.
This movie starts in Colorado. We're seeing the mountains. And we see Dean R. Koontz's Phantoms. That comes on. And I'm like, he's writing the screenplay, too. I'm noticing in the opening credits. He's writing the screenplay.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into it where I don't think that's always such a great idea that the writer of novels then writes a screenplay. It's pretty apparent to me in parts of this where that's not working. But he was surprised himself. In later interviews, Dean Koontz said that he said, hey, I want to write the screenplay. And they were like, okay, great. Yeah, so that tells me too, this movie, I don't know what was going on with their production of it. It's one of those things. The book was so popular and good that it had been in development forever, because the book was written probably in the 80s. And now here we are in 1998, and it's finally making it to the screen. We're introduced to our two heroines, our two heroes here. I don't know, our main characters, these sisters.
They represent us throughout the whole movie.
Throughout the whole movie, to an annoying degree, they represent us. But I think we're actually ahead of them, Erik.
We're slightly ahead of them, and it's kind of sad because they don't know that they should not continue with the movie. But we kind of know that too, but we keep going.
Yeah.
So did you get confused with who the Rose McGowan's, the actor that was next to Rose McGowan? I thought it was the person from Twisters, because she has a doppelganger, like the ex-wife in Twister.
Oh, the ex-wife in Twister.
Yeah,
oh,
and also in The Lost Boys. Well, on the night, David. I thought it was her.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of women that look like her. This is Joanna Going.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce her last name?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of women that look like that look in the 80s in movies. And they're just weren't 80s and 90s. I should say the 80s through the 90s. So it's easy to sometimes get them confused until you start watching a lot of 80s and 90s movies and you start to distinguish between them. But the first thing you notice is they're driving through Colorado, and they got 90s styling. Both of them, like Rose McGowan, and with the hair and that big puffy white coat.
Yeah, the frosty. It's like the Swiss skier coat.
And the doctor, her sister, is a doctor. She's a doctor in a Colorado town, a small Colorado town, which they're driving to through the mountains. But she is styled like she's in a Human League video from right. The hair is like perfect with the little things around her head and the makeup and the jacket she's got on. And I'm like, I think I'm in like an early 90s music video with the way they've styled her. So, because I was like, she should be.
I'm only human, a doctor on the road. This is my haircut.
You are working as a doctor in a Colorado town when I met you.
And then there was some phantoms and they're walking around. I didn't know what to do.
We got to be careful. We do too much of that we'll get a copyright strike on Spotify.
Yeah. We'll have to auto-tune it.
Right. So they're driving and we just get the back and forth. There's a lot of this in this movie. It's supposed to be expositional, but it really doesn't amount to much. So Rose McGowan's the younger sister she's from LA, and her sister's bringing her to Colorado for the summer or the off season for a couple of months for some reason. For some reason, right? To get her away from her boyfriend?
Well,
is that
to get away from her boyfriend and all the smog and the gunfire.
The gunfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we learned is really handy, though, that there's so many guns in LA. That's going to come in really.
She says, I like smog. I like gunfire. And I was like, you do not look like you like either of those things.
Right.
On what you're wearing right now.
All right. And also, LA, this would be the time where, remember, early 90s, we had the riots in LA and everything. I could kind of see where that's still lingering in the public consciousness. And so a lot of America would be going, oh, yeah, LA, I don't want to go there. Then she's talking on, this is great, because I did have to remember, even though this is 1998, the car phone is big. Remember we used to have the car phones that were a regular phone receiver? And Rose McGowan is talking on that with somebody. So I had to sort of reorient to the idea that, they're going to a place. This is a time, believe it or not, like even mid to late 90s, where not everybody had a cell phone. So not everybody had like a pocket cell phone. So the idea that we're going to get into in this movie where things get isolated is a lot easier. Our mind today, it's hard to understand how isolated you could suddenly be someplace if things went wrong.
Yeah, I was in Los Angeles in the 90s. I lived there for 4.5 years, and I had a beeper. I did until the Nokia phone came out, and then I had the world's smallest phone, which I thought was awesome.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I never had a car phone. Never had that.
No, my sister did. I remember she was in pharmaceuticals, and she had traveled around a lot, and she had this big ass thing that she would plug into her light, but it was a unit, like it was like a heavy little bag, and she would take it around. This is what it reminded me of. So they're driving into the town. It's an actual town, and it looks good. I thought the shots of the town from far away as they're driving in, I really did like it. I said, oh, we're going into this Colorado town surrounded by mountains. I guess it's a real place, Georgetown, Colorado, where they shot it. And I thought that looked really good. Once again, those things where there are great locations. Nowadays, that would all be, those mountains, they would all be computer generated. They would just find something. I don't think they'd go to find these real locations, but movies still had to back then because
they
CGI,
still had to.
They still had to go find locations. They couldn't just put every background they wanted into things.
Nope. Nope, not much CG. Nope, they had to contact each other with the beeper first.
we learned that it's a really small town. She said, what is it, 400 people in the off season?
Yes, here's my issue with that. They're wearing winter clothes. It's a Colorado town in the mountains, and it's off season? What? Is it a summer town only? Well, in Colorado?
Yeah. And it goes up to 4,000, they said, during the tourist season.
Which is when, Art? July? Where does the tourist...
Because you're right, it does start snowing. I think Colorado, to be fair, I think Colorado has weird weather like that. It can snow in weird seasons, but skiing, I think we're meant to think it's a skiing town, right? That's why people go there.
Rose McGowan's got her snow bunny jacket on. So it's not September. When is it? Okay.
Right.
They wanted to Dean Koontz, what happened with your right there, starting with the writing? What happened?
Yeah. And so they come into town, and you're there. The movie does a good job here of presenting it as the town feels empty. The town does feel a little off. They're doing things, but they're just really showing the town, but there's just no people out. So there's cars on the street. It does, to me, seem like a town that's much bigger than 400 people in the off season. 400 people is not a lot of people. And this town looks a little bigger than it would be 400 people living there.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out that with that. They did do driving down the street, and I thought, oh, is this one of those movie towns where, when you turn the corner, it's the exact same house again? But I couldn't figure out the size of it. But I thought 400, I've traveled a little bit. So I thought, yeah, maybe it's a small town. I don't know, 10 streets.
Right.
But it's quiet, so like you said, it's very quiet.
They pass by a car that's running by itself. The owner doesn't seem to be in there. Now, this was right away. I remember seeing this movie in the theaters. Like you, I went to see this movie because I think we're one of the 5 people that went to actually see it. And I did remember early on, and it starts here, even on this rewatch, I read the book, so I know what's going on. I know what the story is. I'm wondering, Erik, if you don't know anything, how these early scenes play to you, to somebody that doesn't know what's going on early on. Like, I wonder how it plays for that audience, because you and I didn't have that experience.
No, for me, sometimes the knowledge of what's going on and, how are they going to present this is really cool. But the problem is I have expectations. So I started with, okay. Oh, here we go. Empty town. Oh, they're in for it now. It's going to get spooky.
Yeah. And they don't waste too much time. They come into her house, and she lives in this like Airbnb type house as the doctor. We see she's the town doctor. It's got a sign up on the thing. And she says, oh, you're going to be excited. Hilda, my cleaning woman, says that she's cooking up something special for you.
Seriously, Hilda?
Is it Hilda? It's
How
Hilda.
does this name frequently, like we had Hildy, remember in
Yes.
Hildy, was there always somebody cooking named Hilda or Hildy? Or
I
was
guess.
Hildy was the friend in Rumpelstiltskin, right?
Yes.
Hildy.
Yes. Hildy.
Weird name.
But we're not going to get to meet Hildy because
No.
they're investigating. They're coming in. And I can see what the director's doing here. He does this a lot through the movie. He sets up, like Rose McGowan looks up the stairs. And you're, like you said, they're trying to set up, it's kind of spooky around here.
Is
or
that
something.
What they're doing?
Well,
is that what the DP's doing, Art? Because I have too many times. I think the only notes I have for this movie are what's with the camera shots, or there's a lot of zooming in. The camera kind of is moving like it's always moving like,
yeah.
It's
incredibly distracting.
Were you distracted?
I think on purpose. But here he's showing a shot down the stairs and Rose McGowan's. So they're setting up like, something spooky. And then she walks into the kitchen and just sort of casually looks down. And the score is like, dun, dun, dun. Like, the camera, like you said, they jump in like 3 close-ups or 2 close-ups into a body lying on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's like a music sting that's supposed to get us all, but it's kind of comical, the way that they do it. And I think if you're not expecting it, you might jump, but I'm like, it's really just an old lady lying on the floor. And they do this thing where it's not even, it's good makeup actually that they do with she's veiny and blue and there's veins sort of running through her leg and her face. So I like the makeup, but I'm also like, it looks like real, but not weird enough for me to get unsettled by it. Do you see what I mean?
That's an interesting point. Yes, because you see that I really like the makeup and like the gnarled hand and things. And something was up their eyes. They were kind of milky, but you could think that they were maybe just dyed regular versus some weird, something's off,
Which is what I think they want you to do, because they want the characters to not be like, oh my God, this person's contorted like an alien or something. They want them to still be, this is weird. That's the way the novel plays out, is they come to the town and they're realizing these things and they're going around, they're discovering, which works in a novel when you're reading it, imagining these things in your head and stepping out. But in the movie, we're working visually here. And this is the point. Rose McGowan's character is back. And then it looks like somebody beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, you actually did, in my opinion, just there a better job than Rose McGowan did right there. Because my problem with a lot of movies is that, I mean, granted, she lives in LA, so she's probably seen that all the time. But that it was at first, and then it was no big deal. And I was like, is this? It plays like they're on stage and they're doing a really good high school production. This is what I'm getting from this movie. I just like, what is with? I felt like I was, when they do Peter Pan, the musical live, this is what I felt like I was watching.
Yeah, Rose McGowan is doing something here in these early scenes where she's sort of twitchy or something. There's like something she's trying to do with her character that's different from the cool facade she put on in the car when we first met her. And it's like, I don't know. It's like she's doing too much there. And Jennifer immediately noticed. Dr. Jennifer is also like a forensic specialist. She's like, no sign of blood, no sign of struggle, no sign of, she wasn't beaten up.
Yes. Again, it's like she's playing to us though, like the up to the 4th row, no sign of a struggle.
Yes. And it's delivered. I think, Erik, it's delivered almost like she got the lines like maybe 15 minutes before she was supposed to shoot. And that's going to happen with a lot of people, a lot of characters in this movie.
But that's why you should see it, everyone.
Yes.
Right?
And so
Oh, yeah.
the killer could still be in the house, they wonder. So they go outside. And like you said, they go outside and then you have this, actually, the camera's way up. They got a crane for the camera to show them coming out of the house. And I'm like, I guess. I don't know what they're trying to do here because all they do is that shot is walk to the car.
Yeah,
like
I'm
they don't.
Glad you said that because you're more savvy with why a director's doing shots. And for me, I didn't pick up that. I didn't pick up the fact that we're supposed to feel claustrophobic or we're supposed to feel alone or, and then when people do the after, stay tuned after the show for an inside look and all the actors are going, the director's like, yes, we wanted them to feel the anxiety of them. Like, what are you talking about? But this movie, they were trying to do something, but I thought, why did they have such a high shot? Was it somebody's house that they wanted to showcase in case they were selling it?
I think they did want to showcase a lot of this town. We'll get to it when we get to the hotel that they're going to get to later. But what I want to say is what I have in my notes right here with this, and this is a big problem with this movie, is they do this high shot. They walk to their car and they get in it and it doesn't start. And I was like, where's the payoff to what they're setting up? They're setting up, oh, there's something. Maybe there's a noise upstairs. Maybe there's a killer upstairs. They're going in. And then we don't even get a jump scare. Like we don't even get like a cat jumps on them or something, which would be cheap, but at least. And so what I'm noticing is there's sometimes in this movie build up and then really no payoff. Right,
because they do have a couple times in this movie where the killer's still here and there is something going on. We never go back to what this killer, I'm doing quotes, air quotes, what this phantom is doing. So as we go on, I have questions for you, Art, about what the F is going on with this. With this thing that's happening.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is the problem, Eric, with me watching this movie is I knew it from the book, knew what is going on. Like you put it perfectly though. The idea of when you see something, a book that you're excited to see how they're going to surprise you, like how it's going to play out. And here it's very procedural. And then like she gets in her car and she turns it and it doesn't start, even though it was just but it was just working fine. And she's not like, oh, this is weird. Why is my car? She's just like, oh, we'll just walk to the police station.
It's only 4 streets. Oh, she said 4 blocks. Maybe
4 blocks.
Maybe that's it. All right. There's only 4 blocks to this whole town.
And then this is a good shot of them. This is the good use of overhead, but we already used that crane shots already. They're walking down the streets by themselves through the middle of the street. They're walking down the middle of the street, but it's a great shot high up. I was wondering how they even got it. I don't know if they're in a helicopter, like what are they doing? Because this is before drones and they're walking and the town is clearly empty. And then a shadow starts to overcome them. And at first you're like, oh, those clouds. And then you're starting to realize, I think that's the sun's going down behind the mountains. Like I know you've been to Sedona like I have and stuff. The clouds start to go behind those mountains and it does cast sort of a shadow. So I guess we're supposed to get the idea that it's nighttime. But I'm like, you already kind of ruined a sort of great shot like that with showing an overhead shot of them before. So that's where I'm starting to get a little like how this movie is put together.
Well, do
they go to the police station?
The police station, first.
Yeah, so we cut real hard to another good makeup job. The police, and this is where I think start to notice. You might have noticed it with the other thing. I think the deputy Henderson or whatever is lying there, and it's just his big face is veiny, and then his eye looks a little strange. One of his eyes, and he's just lying there in the police stations.
He's got goop. Yeah. There's goop. This time it's a weird thing.
They
picks his head up and there's like goop, black goop.
And I liked it. That effect was pretty good. Like that's what I'm looking for. That sticky pulling his head up. But Rose McGowan is there in the corner now and she's twitching more. She's trying to do extra work here because I'm wondering, Eric, if Rose McGowan is sensing how static this movie might feel in these moments, because we're going to get a lot in this movie of people talking about what's going on in the moment.
They were describing it. Brings me right back to the stage thing. They describe like when he has the gun on the ground. There's 3 bullet casings on the ground. We see it very clearly because the camera goes, look at this, look. But still the actors have to tell us, look, he fired 3 times. He's an expert. How does she know he's an expert? He could have never fired a gun in his life. And what was he shooting at?
Right. And then she kind of has a breakdown, and it's that thing of get a hold of yourself. Oh, we'll get through it. And it's this big emotional thing that's happening, but I don't feel like I don't think like it's naturally built up. You know, Eric, when you take an acting class and you have to watch people have to sort of, because they're only doing a part of the scene and they have to do like a really emotional thing. I've been in those situations too. And you're like, you got to kind of, and I just don't feel like they're there. And like you mentioned, these are the things, Eric, what you just mentioned about, look, the bullets in the gun. I think Rose McGowan said, so he hits what he shoots at. So where's the blood and now these are the things, Eric, in a novel can work when you're reading a novel because you're in the head of the characters. It might not even be spoken out loud in the novel. It might be a character's working through those things in their head like a detective. But when you have characters narrating what the camera has just shown us and putting it together, it's really, we're ahead of them. I'm starting in this movie to be like, I'm seeing the problems that this movie is facing already. And I'm trying to give it a chance because what are you laughing about? No, I'm trying to give the movie a chance because I haven't seen it probably since it came out. And it has this reputation. And in doing our research, Eric, I saw some people, you scan through the Google search and then you see people like 1998's Phantoms, a hidden gem. And I'm like, well, maybe it is a hidden gem. Maybe Eric and I will uncover it. We'll put on our Indiana Jones outfit and we'll dig into it and we'll dust it off.
We are, baby. We are finding all the little gems in this little gold mine of a movie.
Yeah.
This little mine of the 7 dwarves.
And then this is where we learned that Rose McGowan can load a shotgun and
what the hell was
living
that?
in LA is good for something, Eric. I mean, when you were in LA, wasn't that a standard part of your life in LA?
Yes. The first thing we did was my wife and I went down to the beach at Santa Monica Pier, and there was a guy, you pay him $2 and he shows you how to load and fire shotguns. So it's there. You can buy apples and peaches, at the market, but you can also load and fire a shotgun.
Because it would make sense to me that the woman her sister, who lives in a Colorado town out in the middle of nowhere, should know how to, before Rose McGowan would. But maybe the writer is thinking, oh, here's the twist, right? The city girl knows how to load the shotgun and the country doctor, but she's not a country doctor because she's dressed like she's in a Spandau ballet, like I said, video. It is
the Phantom.
So there's just a lot of confusion. I'm not sure what these dynamics are supposed to be.
Well, we do and have now to point out Rose McGowan talking about the street cred and everything is just no way dressed that you would ever believe that. It's just you don't even live at Venice Beach. You're at like Bel Air or something.
She would be an influencer today, like that character. She would be like an LA influencer. Yeah.
So, but somebody has to know how to load the shotgun. So there we go.
Correct. That's going to come in later, of course.
Yeah.
Because we have to show that. And they're showing the more shots of the town empty. They're talking through what could this be? It is kind of a weird thing. I guess you would be like, what the fuck is going on here? Because that's the way the novel you feel. That's what propels the novel in this beginning part is you are like, what the fuck is happening?
You're right about that writing too, because they tell us exactly what they're thinking. Well, it's not a virus. It can't be a virus. It can't be this. It can't be just a one guy. Just that verbal affirmation of what we're seeing is just bleh. But there is the bakery scene.
Yes.
So that was a little fun for me.
Well, it's Jacob. It's what they say, Jacob and Anna. It's their bakery. They're always here.
They're always here. They never leave.
And the bakery building, like they go around through a side gate and suddenly it's like all rock walls. I'm assuming it's a real building in this town, but it's like, you're like, where are they? They're going through it looks like a crypt or something, and they're getting scared. They get inside the bakery. They go through a back door. They hear noises above them.
Yeah, again, somebody or something is following them, because you see like shadows coming through the light in this crazy way to enter a bakery. I would love to enter a bakery that way. Just FYI.
I know, it's a very strange entrance, and they come in and they don't waste time. It's a mimic of what happened earlier. One of them just sort of looks down at the floor, and what's on the floor?
On the floor?
It is a rolling pin.
Well, that's on the floor?
It looked like it was on the floor.
Yes, great shot, but well lit, too well lit, in fact. Yeah.
I agree.
But what's her name? It's the baker. You know what it is? There's two hands with the rolling pin severed, like Jurassic Park on the boat. With a ring. There's a ring on the finger, too.
Yes. And it's cut off cleanly at the wrist, but way too cleanly. That was my problem with this shot. The geography of it, like I said, it's on the ground. It's supposed to, I think it's supposed to be shot. I think it's supposed to be, I was going to ask you, Erik, what do you think the director said when the special effects person showed up with the rolling pin with the hands on it? And looked at it. Do you think he said that it was good, or do you like it? I'm very curious. You're usually the go-to person for this. I think it was cut off too cleanly at the wrists, and I love that you pointed out it's way overlit, and so it looks fake.
What it looks to me is like you go to Spirit Halloween and you find a really good prop, which is hard to find at Spirit, and you go, let's take that. Or you went to Michael's and they had their section this year, severed baker hands, and it looks really good. I think they're trying to make us feel like, how in the world could this person be just there? Because I thought it was on the table and she was in mid-roll.
Maybe it was on the table and the geography
was on the floor. What the hell? But I've been waiting 2 days to say this. So that poor couple, they had baker's remorse.
Oh,
does that work? Oh, I got baker's remorse. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the alarm goes off. Something's cooking in the oven. They're going over. They're approaching the oven.
No.
And we're like, what is in the oven? What is in there? No, because
why? All right. Why would they ever think that just because the oven goes off? It's one of those pie, like a pizza pie ovens, except for pies, real pies. But when the alarm goes off, why would you ever think, one, that there might be something in there that's not supposed to be in there? And why do people take so long? I'm answering my own question, to open the goddamn thing. Would you do that, Art? Would you be like, oh, might be something in there? For me, when I'm going to open something, I think there's something awful in there. I'm like, oh, step away as soon as possible. But they just reach out that hand like,
and like you said, the camera work is the coverage that they're doing. Show them, show the oven, show the hand, show them, show the oven, show the score is coming up, and they open it, but it's just a bunch of cakes that are a little overbaked.
A little bit, still good. It's still good.
No, and then we notice something dripping, and then. This is where I'm like, how does this oven work, Erik? How does this? What exactly is this oven? Because it's two ovens, one right on top of the other. You would assume there's some sort of solid thing between this small pizza oven or bread oven and the one above it.
But, it's like a storage area.
Yeah, but how? So then suddenly, this is our jump scare. Two heads that were bought next to the rolling pins at the Spirit Halloween. Did they come as a set, maybe? Or
yes, it's Ma and Pa baker heads. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they fall down onto the cakes. They fall down from I don't know where. And it's supposed to be a big scare, and it isn't. And
no, because it's so well lit. And I have issues with empty cups of coffee, as you probably know, in a movie. It just takes me completely out. pizza boxes that are empty, and then the weight of a certain object. And this is a person's head falling from, I don't know, 20 feet, no, from a foot, and it lands on the pie. That would have been a perfect opportunity, right? Just, and it's good.
Yeah, a pie might have been better. You're right.
Yeah.
Like a pie, you'd have a little splatter out of it. Like
it was just landing on the pie and making a splat or something. It didn't.
Yeah, and they didn't look great. And she notices, like you said, they have to notice everything. The stump, she says, the doctor says the stumps are cauterized. When she looks at the rolling pin, the stumps are cauterized.
You know how she's a small town doctor of 400 people, but she's seen cauterized stumps before, in her, a lot of cauterizing of stumps up there in Colorado. Here's another one.
But I was like, they don't even look like they're cauterized. They look like it's just straight, clean, and then you put like some red felt on it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know it. So we have then the phone rings, and I was like, wow, it was a little nostalgic for me, Erik. I was like, phones were loud when we were younger. We're spoiled now with number one, we don't have to even hear them if we don't want them, but they're like diddly diddly, and I'm like, that phone is ring, and it's like the whole unit of the phone is rattling.
Yeah, because it was actually a bell. It's not a sound effect. It's some mechanism that's going. So every phone would have that, and then when it got digital. We're still in the world of digital loud sounds. So a digital phone would be like, boop, 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 boop. So it wanted you to answer the phone.
Exactly. You kind of have to. And
and the phone,
they answer the phone, and this is the first time I think we hear that sound that's on the other end of the phone, which I think they did a good job of replicating. I think in the book they describe what's sort of going on in the sound. It sounds almost like somebody trying to say something, but then not trying to say something.
Yes. I'll usually have my closed captions on for stuff like that. But that one, I'm not sure you hear anything, but it's definitely like,
yeah.
And she goes, who's there? Who's there? Right. Who's there?
Oh my gosh.
Is this the killer? Why did you leave her hands there?
And I like this next little shot here. So they segue, they're like, well, we got to get out of here. And they start walking out, and just almost silently a figure steps behind them. It's backlit. And you're like, I like this. They're coming towards the camera.
Yes.
And so if you're seeing this movie for the first time, you're like, whoa,
here we go. Yeah. There's even another one. You're doing a couple.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, there's something else is coming.
And then they open the door, and Erik, it's a hat. A hat has come into the picture.
Well, I wish I had a hat here so I could do it.
Erik, I did bring
you did. Oh my God.
So I want to make sure that we're
the perfect size for you. Nice.
Because I was going to ask you, Erik. So you've known me for a long time, and we've actually performed together. People might not know that on the podcast. And Erik's directed me and actually had to, you've had to do wardrobe with me. So let me ask you, Erik.
Yes.
Would you say that if I came in with a certain hat, like a cowboy hat, is there a point where you would say that hat is too big? That hat is too big for you to be wearing for the serious role, Art, because you would you actually make sure that you did that, or would you let me wear that?
That hat, if you put that hat on, that incredibly brand new Stetson, if it was you, now, I might be like, yeah, you know what? We got to age it a little. But if you're 16 years old, it really looks like you're playing cowboys. And the hat you have on
Yeah.
For me, that would be I would definitely approve that hat just to hear the audience laugh at how what it looks like now from this angle. Art, it looks like you're wearing a chocolate UFO. What it looks like.
So I'm not going to do the rest of the investigation here into this movie with that hat on because it's kind of hot. I can imagine.
Damn it.
I really hope they were filming this not in the summer so that they were all in their winter coats.
There was some breath. There was a lot of breath.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was the winter. So maybe they were happy to have all that. But jokes aside, two of these sheriffs, we get to meet the sheriffs from a neighboring town here. And Ben Affleck has a huge hat. Nicky Katt, the actor, we've seen him in a lot of stuff since then. He also has a hat. They both have these long, thin faces, so these hats look ridiculous on them. But I was like, I guess sheriffs like that wear hats like that out there.
Yeah,
but Liev
Schreiber,
Liev Schreiber is part of this group, and he
God.
has a like a skull cap on, like a winter's hat. He doesn't have one of those hats.
He does not, because he probably said, "Look, Weinstein, I'll do the effing movie, but I'm not wearing that goddamn hat." That's what happened.
Right.
That's exactly what happened. And we're introduced to this character, Stu. And Liev Schreiber always has a weird, his way of acting is a little, I was seeing if I could also do Liev Schreiber for you, but he's almost like a bird in a way. He's like, and he's got this sinister face. And I was just like, why is Stu so weird?
We're going to ask that question a lot through this podcast.
Do not hire this guy as a police officer.
Yes, but part of it, Erik, made me believe it that this is the guy that somehow ends up as a local rural police officer because he's a big guy. Because Liev Schreiber is actually a big guy in real life, and he's not all that bright, but he's geeky enough to have studied for the police exam and knows all the stuff about police. I bought this as he's actually a weird dude that would end up on this small force.
You bought that, and you probably bought that Ben Affleck was given the title of sheriff.
See, this is my problem. This is the problem. I'm going to say this. Maybe we'll disagree on this. God bless Liev Schreiber in this movie because he's giving us stuff that the movie needs some of this stuff.
He's in another movie. He is
exactly
in a different movie than
he's in a different movie, but I need it. Because imagine if he came in, Erik, if he was just playing it sort of straight. I mean, think of what we'd be having to go through.
Nothing.
Right?
There would be nothing. He is the character actor in the film right now.
Yes. And
gum chewing. I could not, if every time he's chewing gum, because remember he goes and looks into the stove to see the bodies. And he's spending way too long looking at him. But we never see what he's looking at.
No. Ben Affleck comes behind him and is like, "Hey man, are you okay?"
He's like,
he's looking in there, and then he looks back and he smiles and he closes the oven. And I guess the heads are in there. I was a little confused because I didn't know if he's looking at the heads. Does Ben Affleck see the heads? I was a little confused.
Reacting like everyone's reacting the way Stu is. So that's the problem. Is if Stu's supposed to be so creepy ass, Ben Affleck's also seeing the severed heads, which again we're not clear because they don't cut back to the severed heads.
No. They don't want to show it to us
but
again.
His reaction is the same as Liev Schreiber's, except without the gum.
Yeah, and so Ben Affleck comes in, and we're supposed to, I guess, I think the idea of this character is we're supposed to think, okay, the cavalry's here, we feel safe, but then they're not safe. That's the way this usually goes in a movie. This is a role that Ben Affleck should be playing now. He should be playing it now, or maybe even like 10 years ago. He should be playing this. Not when he looks so young. You said 16, and he's trying to act like he's 47 years old, and it's tough. For those of you who think we might be picking on Ben Affleck, he talks about this himself in interviews when he's asked about it, like that he's not right for this role. And you brought up something I had in my notes already, like it looks like they just bought all of their wardrobe the sheriffs like
right now. Yes.
Yes, like the day before they shot,
first
they
time,
bought them.
We should wear our new outfits to the investigation. What do you think?
Right, everything's shiny and perfect, and it's
high school
really...
production where you put on the costume. You're the Warren Miner, but we're not going to put any dirt on you. You know,
And we start to notice Liev Schreiber. He's giving Rose McGowan these lecherous looks now and then, a little look out of the side, and he smiles at her.
Yeah.
She does have a good reaction, sort of like, ugh, like she just sort of, I love her reaction to it.
Yeah.
She just looks away. So we get the sheriffs from neighboring town. Henderson, the guy we saw earlier dead, the sheriff that in this town, Henderson had called, and in mid-call, he was gone. Yeah.
Shooting those bullets. Pow, pow, pow.
And we learned Nicky Cat, the other cowboy hat guy, they're walking down the street, all sort of getting to know each other a little bit. And he says, I love this. He's like, yeah, Henderson was FBI with me and, the Ben Affleck character. And I'm like, so like all these small town police officers are all former FBI together. I was like, what is going on? Like, and I'm like, so he's former FBI. And now we're gonna find out later that he almost killed a kid in the line of duty, and that haunts him. I was like, this is where, Erik, when they teach screenwriting and they teach dramatic writing, they always teach you you don't create character by multiplying things in somebody's backstory. That doesn't, like, she's a physicist, and she plays saxophone, and she's a bike messenger, and she murdered somebody. That's not character. What character is how somebody reacts to a situation is their character.
Well, because there is no character. There's no character except for Liev's. I sound like, oh my God, there's no character. Like I have one right now. This character. If I did this, then, I don't have to tell you that I'm in the band, or just. Ugh.
And
not that I want to rush it.
Do you want to get to the candle glow in? Is that where you wanted to get to?
Well, half of this podcast is going to be just us tearing a new one into everybody. But that's the fun of this one. I almost called you. It was like, all right, no, we're going to have to. What movie have you seen yesterday, Art? But I thought, nope, this is going to be enjoyable just because of all the just shit that's in this film. And it turns around too. It even turns around and still doesn't give you what you want. But
because and we're getting the scene. It's more of the cinematography you were talking about, and its direction. I have to say that, but all the lights start going on and off, and they're hearing whistles, and then like the camera's swirling around them and zooming in on them and swirling and showing everything. Yeah. And it's building and building and building to a crescendo where it just sort of all ends.
Yes.
And like I said, these buildups and no payoffs. I think that's one of the problems I have with this opening section of this movie. And
this is just the opening section?
This is,
the movie becomes... I thought we were halfway through the film, Art.
We are almost. It's not a long film. Yeah, we're going to get there pretty soon to that.
Can you answer me this while we're here? Can you answer me? The town has how many people?
It supposedly has, I think they said 400 in the off season.
Okay, off season. So how far away is this factory?
With the whistle?
This incredibly large factory that needs a whistle to tell all of its employees that it's closing time? Do they all work there and have part-time jobs at the bakery? Is that what's going on here? Where is the factory?
I didn't even think of that.
400 people. They all work at I came up with a brand new film. Is they all work at the factory, and the town is like just a movie setup scene for tourists. And that's why it's such a tourist thing, because people come to the fake town like Disney and they come and see the baker. But really, the baker is, the foreman at the factory. So everybody's going, oh my God, these are all actors, and they're baking with their severed hands. I
know.
What is with the factory?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So I don't know. I don't. So then they realize the only place, Rose McGowan realized the only place with lights on is the Candle Glow Inn. I love the names in this thing. It's
Conveniently.
Snowfield is the name of the town. We didn't even talk about that.
Yep.
Snowfield.
Snowfield and Candle Glow. Come to Candle Glow at Snowfield.
Candle Glow. Candle Shoe, like with Jodie Foster.
You don't need hands to bake.
Yeah.
No, you don't need a body, just a couple of hands to bake. Yeah, so the candle snarfing, what is it?
And Stu's like making a beeline towards the Candle Glow Inn. Affleck is like, I think he says this numerous times in the movie now. Affleck keeps saying to Stu, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like,
yeah, because we need someone to say that because we don't know that Stu's generally not okay.
But let me ask you this, Eric. So do you think at this point in the movie, are you thinking that at this point, Stu is being taken over by the thing, or he's just a weird, deeply weird person?
Well, he's not being taken over by whatever's happening because we find out that whatever this is doesn't do that. He's in another movie. He's a serial killer, sociopath, cop, for no reason.
They're writing it this way. They're clearly writing it that he's going forward towards the hotel as if he's drawn there. And this is my point, Eric. They're trying to fake us out. They're trying to make us think, ooh, Stu's weird, or Stu's in on this somehow, or there's supernatural with Stu. You and I know that that's not true as we know as it goes. But I think the film is, so this is that thing of like, that's why nothing feels connected, because they're just doing this. And then it makes you think like, yeah, how is Stu? Who the hell is Stu? What is going on? How did he become a police officer?
Maybe when you're watching it, I can see that if you're watching it for the first time, you think Stu is somehow involved in this because he is so over the top creepy. He's quirky. He's weird with dead bodies. He's got a thing for teenage girls. He chews way too much gum. Mm-hmm. That was the most for me. I don't care about the pedophilia. I just care about the gum chewing. Yeah. Like arrest him for gum chewing and the pedophilia. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just I see what you get, Art. Thank you for that, because otherwise, maybe when I saw it the first time, I thought he was involved. But in the book, he's your typical, almost a stereotype of he's an overweight, greasy, gross, and that would have worked as well. Yeah. You just don't like the guy. But I think you're right. They're trying to make you think there's something else happening here.
Yeah, there's something else going on, because they go into the hotel, they hear upstairs, the music is "I fall to pieces," right?
Wow, that was good. All right, that was
no, it's terrible.
Best
I think Stu does it better than me. But they got they got to go upstairs, and I love when they go upstairs and Ben Affleck and Stu go upstairs to check Liev Schreiber to check the hallways, and Liev Schreiber just kicks the door in. They're trying to see, because there are guests up there. There are only 4 guests, they say,
because it's off season.
It's off season. They got to tell us again. That's why there's only 4 guests
like
off season.
410 people.
Yeah. Ben kicks open a closet door, and we suddenly see a kid raise a gun up and aim it at him, and then it's gone. Then the kid's gone, and I'm like, is that a flashback? At this point, we don't know. I said, is that a flashback, or is that something that the creature is doing? And in retrospect, I'm like, the creature. Oh, how I guess the creature absorbed. Like, we'll get to it, but
so it's a creature now, Art. Spoiler.
Well, I know everything.
I know. You ruined it.
So
it's Liev Schreiber. He's no.
And Stu kicks in a door, and like you said, he doesn't react. He there's a body in this bed. It's a woman, and looks like her face. This one, it looks like the face might be a little melted a little bit, or like she's in the bed. She's got all those veins, and Stu's not screaming. He doesn't scream. He's just curious. He walks over.
I see what you just did there. He doesn't scream.
Yeah.
Because he was in Scream.
Right. And Stu is just, he always has like a little giggle too, like Eric.
Thank you for
chuckles and
me.
Giggles. Yeah.
He's the dog from like Snidely Whiplash. That's all he does. He's like,
Yeah.
They were like, they're going, cut, leave. You know that little laugh you're doing? Yeah. Keep doing that. Just whenever you can.
It's like the more cowbell, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then we see Ben Affleck's in another room and we get our first shot of the worldwide news on a table. I read all the headlines, by the way.
You did.
I paused. Oh, yeah.
You did.
We have Earth will evaporate December 31st, 1999.
Oh,
Demons escape from the internet with an exclamation point.
What escapes from the internet?
Demons escape from the internet.
Oh, yeah. Early on because they didn't have the ad blocker. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
This would have been early days of everybody getting internet too.
Right?
Like
AOL.
AOL. Yeah. You've got demons.
That was
I like
great.
this one. I dated Bigfoot, he was extremely shy. With an exclamation point.
Did you read that?
That's one of the headlines.
Is this a personal exclamation for the listeners? Or
prehistoric alligator found in big city sewer.
Yep.
Billionaire pays 40 million ransom for his kidnapped cat. And then there's a little one down the corner that you can't read the whole thing of, and it's Dog Boy. So I think jumping off of the Bat Boys thing, I think it's Dog Boy is down in the corner.
Wow.
So they're putting that there.
Good job.
And I think, I'm okay with this because it makes sense for what's going to happen, but they don't call attention to it. Ben Affleck doesn't go over and go like, look at this thing. Look at all these crazy stories they don't call attention to. Yeah. We see it, but we get the feeling whoever was in this room was reading this world news thing.
And he's creeping. The other guy, Liev Schreiber, is creeping on the dead body.
It's creepy. He takes off his gloves.
Yeah, and when Ben Affleck confronts him about it, it's almost like Ben Affleck already knows this about Liev Schreiber.
Yes. What are you doing?
Not Liev Schreiber. I'm sorry, Liev Schreiber. No, about your character, Stu. You're not a creeper. You're probably a really nice person. But
Erik, you're a civilian, so it's Deputy Stu Wargel.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Deputy Stu. Deputy Stu.
Stu Wargel.
Deputy Stu Wardle.
And he puts his hand like on her veiny thigh. It's kind of creepy. I know you really off put by this, but I like this part of the movie because I'm like, okay, this guy's super weird, and they're kind of pushing how weird it is. He has that. I like this, but he has this weird dialogue. He says to the corpse, "You want to tell me what happened here?"
Then he goes,
he laughed like I just laughed.
Yeah, he's like a wheezing cat.
Yeah, we could see a whole movie about Stu alone in this town.
Oh my God, I would watch a documentary on Stu.
Yeah.
Deputy Stu is the name of it.
Yeah. So the big thing is Ben Affleck has to bust open a bathroom door in that room with the tabloid newspaper. And there's written on the mirror is Timothy Flight, the ancient enemy.
Timothy Flight, the ancient enemy.
Which is great. I still remember in the book where you're like, what does that mean?
Yes.
Like what the heck does that mean? And so, yeah, and then you see Liev Schreiber creeping now on Rose McGowan, and he starts. This is where I think this starts, where he says, "You want to see something?" And you think he wants to take her to see the dead body, right? And
I don't know.
Like I said, I love her reactions to Liev Schreiber. She's like, no.
Like, and he has to ask her twice. You want to see something? No. Nuh-uh. No. And they're adding that for some payoff.
Right.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And they're adding it for a payoff that doesn't really pay off.
No.
It doesn't even make sense when we get to it. But Timothy Flight is written in lipstick in this bathroom. Where's the lipstick? Where's the person?
Where's the book?
The door was locked. It's a locked room mystery. That's almost what Ben Affleck says. Like you joked earlier, I expect him to turn to the camera and go like, this is a locked room mystery. Almost like it's a hot tub time machine.
Yeah, ghost hunters are there. Okay, it's a locked room. There's no way there's no windows in this room you can clearly see. And there is no lipstick at all. No, really?
Yeah. They're really outlining everything.
Yeah.
And then they hear a noise and they get our shot of all the crap on the bed, all the metal.
My favorite part of the movie.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not
the
that.
metal. Oh, later?
No,
you mean?
Liev Schreiber spits his gum out.
He does. He hears something. It's going down. So he actually spits his gum out in the hallway.
I actually said to myself, oh, thank God.
You were happy because you wouldn't have to see it.
I was so happy when he spit the gum out. All I could do is hyper focus on his maw.
So it's just a pile of stuff that's there. And they notice it's even a pacemaker is in there. One of them, Nicky Cat, he doesn't have a lot of lines. Poor Nicky Cat in this movie. By the way, now deceased. He died. I think he died very recently of suicide.
Oh, shoot.
Nicky Cat, not to bring this down.
Thanks for that. Art.
Yeah. So I know, way to bring down our proceedings. But he doesn't get a lot in this movie, but he says, like the Nazis with the teeth.
What?
I said, well, okay.
True. Yeah.
It is true. It is true.
That's been done somewhere before, Art, but much better, I think, is where they had a pile of things from people. So I think it was a series or something where people go missing, but all their stuff. Oh, with Stephen King, the freaking Langoliers. That's what it was. Langoliers. People disappear and all their fillings or whatever remain.
Well, this opening, this first part of the movie that we're in here, which are almost coming to an end to, is basically a sort of classic setup of sci-fi / horror. You could imagine a Twilight Zone episode. There were Twilight Zone episodes where people are in a town that everything is completely deserted and they're going through the town and you don't know. But Twilight Zone episodes are a half-hour episode. And then at the end, you have a little twist to find out what was going on. This is going on for quite a while. We're in this empty town but it's all so ploddingly laid out for you that the mystery doesn't feel, I guess, propelling you, Erik. It doesn't feel like there's something missing here, like suspense or something that's not.
That's it. That is it,
right?
Erik. The suspense is missing because they do give you so many things. In a different movie, you would just be so terrified of seeing the baker's severed hands and the jewelry on the bed and what's that flash of the kid and what are those creepy noises? What's going on? But you almost don't really care.
No,
you don't care.
And I did wonder, I did mention earlier, if that's a product of you and I having read the book and knowing the story. And so we kind of know already.
I guess.
But I don't.
The critics can't be wrong, Art.
That's true.
Metascore.
I think in its time of release, it had like. I think it had 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. And then they're trying to figure out it's a pacemaker and they got all this stuff. And so it's all weird. And they go downstairs in this candle glow inn and all of a sudden Liev Schreiber is giggling again and dun dun dun. There's the hand with the stick butt spear. That's a package, right?
Yes, you can get
rolling pin or do they come together or did you have to buy them separately?
I think it was called the name of the line was I think it was Small Town Severed. So I think you could get anything you wanted there. You get the heads, the different arms,
the hand with the lipstick,
brushing his teeth, severed hand. I have a few. I could show you. I got this one. It's not quite. This is Lake Monster severed hand.
Ooh, nice. but yeah, so the hand with the lipstick is sitting there.
It wasn't there before.
But they position it by Liev Schreiber. Like I said, I think they're trying to make us think Liev Schreiber might have put that hand there.
Yeah, he had it in his hat. Oh, he doesn't have a hat.
I don't know. And then they start hearing outside all these people screaming and saying, "Help me!" And Nicky Cat runs out to help the sheriff.
Yeah.
And whoosh! Something comes, almost like a train runs right by, and he's gone.
Just in case we don't know he's being attacked, we also hear him say something like, "No!" or "Oh no, I'm being taken by something we can't see." Ah!
And Erik, and then they come out. And the gun is still spinning on the ground and his boot is in the background. And I'm like, you guys, the hat was right there. You had one of the hats. You could have had the hat spinning or the hat blowing away or something. He just got taken and the hat fall down.
See, that's
the
an example
pavement.
of how they had no idea how ridiculous the hats were.
Yes, they didn't think of that.
The hat could have dropped. That would have been perfect, Art. You could redirect it. The hat just floats down. Oh, that would have been good. Aw.
Yeah. And now this is where they're going to go and they're going to call on the radio. I guess the radio was working the whole time. They're going to, they go to the police station. They're going to call for, and I love Ben Affleck. He's saying all this stuff. It doesn't sound convincing at all. They got an anti-terrorism task force at Fort Georgia and they got a da-da-da-da. And he's going, bring everything. No, just
bring everything.
He's like, you got to bring
I'm coming
everything
back with guns and fucking police.
Yeah. So he's calling, but then it gets all garbled and weird. And Stu gets up to go and leave. And Ben Affleck's like, hey, Stu, this is going to be a managed response. And
it just, are you okay?
And
yeah.
Stu does have some good lines in here, Erik. He's like, I'm just trying to be a better cop.
Just trying to be a better cop.
Yes, and he does that laugh.
And the song comes back on? The I Fall to Pieces comes on again.
That they love that. They got, I don't know if they didn't have to pay anything for it, but they play it throughout the movie.
And as a viewer, I'm thinking, how's this going to tie in?
Yeah, it does. It does, I guess. It's, yeah.
I almost want to, I know we're going through the movie in this one, but I almost just want to pull the curtain back and be like, guys, this is what's happening. And it doesn't make any sense. It's
yeah, like but this is where we're going to start getting a little action here. You know, Stu's leching on the women, by the way. He's saying to Ben Affleck, hey, that doctor's pretty, I kind of like her sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I have to say, Ben Affleck kind of grabs him by the throat, it's like a real confrontation, but I do like Liev Schreiber's reaction. Ooh, ouch, on the throat. And his line is good. He says, is this what you mean by a managed response?
Yes.
This writing is good. I like Stu's lines, but the phone rings again. And I was going to say, Erik, it comes up and it's the sounds that you were making earlier. Yep. And then he says, who's there again? Who are you? And it starts to go, but it sounded to me like somebody taking a shit.
Oh,
it sounded like somebody going, and it ended, right, Erik? So this is my theory now. I'm going to talk about it a little later, but imagine that. So that happens. And then something is suddenly flying around outside the police station. They're hearing something,
something
like
weird.
Something weird. And it's flying by the doors. So they shoot it through the window. It looks like through the window. It looks like a big moth or something. You don't know quite what it is. They shoot
what it is, but it is a creature. It's not a bird. Mm-hmm. Some weird creature.
It's not. Somebody says it's a bird.
Yeah.
It's like,
and they shoot.
Just reminded me of that.
Out of
this
that
is completely off topic. I remember some comedians. This was one of my favorite comedian one-off lines. He said, at the beginning of Superman where they're like, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. He's like, the guy thought it was a bird. What was he so excited about? Like,
and then the big difference between a bird and a plane. Like, no, it's Superman, though. One of those three things, it is a person flying with a cape.
Right. So they shoot it about a bazillion times. I mean, they really, they a lot of budget on blowing that window apart and it goes on for a long time. And then Stu even pulls out a bigger shotgun and starts shooting. But I was like, after the window's blown out, Erik, and you can clearly see there's nothing on the other side of the window, why are you continuing to shoot? I mean, Ben Affleck is like a trained FBI guy. Like, I don't know why you'd be doing that. I don't.
At his age, he's had days of training.
Right.
Days of training. A week of training at the FBI. It's not very all of them shooting the window out. It was like a Quentin Tarantino moment.
Yeah. And I think
just didn't make sense to me why they'd all be like, yeah. Bah, 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 bah.
Well, I think what they want, what they're going for is they're like, oh, we're going to make the audience think nothing could have survived possibly that. But I'm like, it's outside.
You missed
It's not like it's in a closet and they're shooting up a closet and you would be like, oh, that thing must be dead in the closet.
You absolutely missed it.
Right. And Stu goes to the window and this thing comes flying in the window at his face, and I can't get a good look. I played the scene through twice, Erik, and they're really choppy with all this editing. It's hard to get a full handle on what this creature is. So it's hard there's chaos. It looks like a moth that has a bunch of like proboscis or something, right? That go into the guy's head and attach almost like an alien face hugger type of thing. And it lifts him up and he's screaming. His glasses then fall, which I'm like weird because it attached to his face, but then his glasses fell on the ground. And it's thrashing him around the room and Stu's screaming and yelling.
This is the moment where I would normally get excited. I don't remember the first time what I felt, but I would normally get excited to know, oh, there's this weird, crazy supernatural creature attacking. And for Dean Koontz, who's doing the screenplay and telling us every single thing that everyone's thinking and seeing, this is weird because in the book, I believe it's described, you get a good description of this thing. And in the movie, you're like, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? And it's gone.
Yeah, and I think maybe they're playing around. They're trying in the movie to be like, well, we don't want to show too much yet, and we want it to be a little mysterious. Like, what is that thing? But I'm at this point of the movie, Erik. We're getting a long way into the movie at this point. I'm wanting a creature. I'm wanting something.
Yep.
And this, all that choppy photography and everything. Yeah,
30 minutes in. We're 30 minutes in. We lost the most interesting, annoying character right away.
Yeah, that you're with me then. I'm like, okay, so Stu's gone, or
yeah,
I don't know.
Here's what I want to point out, Art, too, and I'm sorry, I have access to more notes, but this is where through the movie I started not taking notes because I said I'm just going to go from memory because I can't take. Take what's going on.
It's like, so we get to see, nighttime mountains or suns, and then we cut back to Stu's face. It's all bloody.
It's gone. Yeah.
It's gone. And it ate his eyeballs, the doctor says, because she's such a great. And then it's so strange, Erik. It ate his brain, which seems impossible because the human brain is 6 to 7 pounds. So it seems, how could it have digested?
Right. See what I mean about the weight of your head in the pie? Which I'm not sure is accurate. I don't think your brain's that
and then
heavy.
Now we get a whole different take on Rose McGowan's character too. She becomes sort of the person in the corner through the rest of the movie going like, I think this is the devil. It's clear that it wanted to kill him first. And I'm like, first of all, it didn't kill him first. It didn't the line is like, of course it'd want to take him first, men like him. And I'm like, no, it took Nicky Cat first, who seemed like a kind of a good
special.
Yeah. Like it's, yeah.
It took the baker. It takes bakers and creepy guys,
The devils come up to dance with us.
Right. What is all of what? So she can handle a shotgun and she's very religious. Okay. No, that works. That works.
And then suddenly we're cutting to a city. We're in a city.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going, And now we're going to introduce, we're going to get to
finally
Peter O'Toole as 2 FBI agents enter the dimmest lit newspaper office I have ever seen in my life. Like the lobby, the hallways, and there's Peter O'Toole. We're introduced to him. He's sitting in his office and he's just lit by, it looks like one light above him. And he's got a tea set and he looks great. And on his shoulder. Over, did you notice up on thing? They had a camel up on the shelf. A big camel was on his shelf behind him, up over his shoulder. I was like, oh,
little
they're putting that up
callback.
there. Lawrence of Arabia there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which
so
is weird because this is the moodiest set we've seen.
It is.
It's the freaking office.
Yeah.
Everything else is brightly lit. So what's up with that?
And so, yeah, they come in and they're questioning him, FBI, and he right away, I'm like, okay, he knows, he's got the number, he got the memo, right? He has his delivery. I think you've said it's just great. It's sort of like, the FBI reads the world news, like you know.
That
like,
was good.
Right?
All right.
The FBI
reads the
worldwide news. Yeah. And then we established that he has some theory about the ancient enemy. He wrote it as a scholarly article at Oxford.
That's the same thing that was on the mirror.
Yes. And I know it's going to be hard not to imitate him a lot through this movie.
No, we're just going to
do it a lot. He goes, the faculty there turned on me. They're swine. They're polite swine.
They're swine. Polite swine. That is great.
Yeah, so the FBI wants to question him, and he's, confused. This is something he's been talking about for a long time, and he's flipping through, the FBI is flipping through a thing, and we see the Mayans, a thing about the Mayans.
All the Mayans disappeared at once.
All the Mayans disappeared.
Historically.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't know.
Right.
I don't know if they're making some things up. The book had a lot of cool things that he brought up, like that actually are unexplained disappearances, which was his impetus for writing the book. That was the inspiration for it.
Right?
Roanoke and all of those things. And then we're back to the town, and they're just sitting there, and we're starting to notice the camera's starting to focus on water dripping and sinks now. They're just, if you don't know what's going on yet, you're probably wondering why they keep showing us shots of sinks every 2 seconds.
Lots of sinks.
Yes,
dripping.
Lots of sinks. We get a little more backstory for these people, which means absolutely nothing.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you a little snippet of dialogue to give you an example.
Oh, good.
She says, I thought bringing my little sister here would help. Ben Affleck goes, you or her?
Oh.
And she goes, both, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he suddenly says, right after that, he's like, yeah, she goes, I have a need. I guess I have a need to take charge. And he's like, yeah, I can see that. And I'm like, what in the movie? It's not like she's Linda Hamilton in this movie, right? I don't see her in this movie as somebody that's like taking charge. I don't see that. So I don't understand that. And then she says, so Harvard, FBI, now a sheriff in a small town. I'm like, come on, man. Harvard? He went to Harvard and FBI. Did he graduate Harvard at 16 years old?
It was last week. He graduated last week.
Right. Just like, why didn't she also go Harvard, a Navy SEAL, CIA agent,
lifeguard,
FBI,
baker,
pop star, like dancer? Now you're here as a sheriff in this small town.
Wife died on a boating accident.
And of course he has to take out, she's like, how did you end up here? And he carries around a picture of the kid he wasted, like and
it's not laminated. It's not laminated.
It's not. It's just a regular thing.
Do we Art, is this because we just need more hour 30-minute movie has to
Yes, because this is not the point of the movie.
Shit? Oh my
This is
God.
not the point of the movie where this conversation needed to happen.
No.
It's not. This needed to happen a little earlier when they're walking around if they want to introduce this stuff, not here, like right where we're like, I don't know where we are in the movie at this point, but we're quite a ways in.
I hope
and
so.
We're slowing way down, but they're going to try and give us a scare here because Rose McGowan has to go to the bathroom.
Finally, somebody has to pee.
Somebody has to pee.
Maybe it's the pooping that you were talking
and Ben
about.
Affleck has to go and get her. And so she goes into the bathroom and it's all empty. Ben Affleck checks it out, but we hear the toilet flush.
Right. And she also smokes.
Yeah.
Like
So
I believe this character smokes.
She drops a cigarette in
smoke.
and we see the drain and it's that thing of we're hearing things down the drains and the toilet flushes.
Yes.
And remember what I said earlier, the creature.
Somebody's in there.
The creature is, so we think somebody's in there. She goes there. She turns around and then Liev Schreiber is standing there. Want to see something?
Hey.
And when she first turns around, his eyes are kind of dark.
Yes.
They're like very, very black, but they turn into regular eyes all of a sudden.
Yes.
As he's speaking to her.
Yes.
And I forgot his other line. He says, "You're so effing cute."
Oh,
like it's really creepy.
He's really good. He's really good at being that creepy ass guy.
Yeah.
All right. So here. What? We know what's going on.
Yes.
So I think you said the creature a couple of times. I think what we're pointing out here is that something is controlling the narrative. So they are It's a puppeteers, man. It's puppeteers. So something is puppeteering something. But
like Liev Schreiber.
Don't know what it's
called. Like I said, if you went into this movie completely cold, I wonder if you would at this point what the F is going on? Eric, we go to, you and I see a lot of these movies and we go into them going like, I'm going into a vampire movie. I'm going into a zombie movie. I'm going into an alien movie. I'm going into a slasher movie, right? So you have these expectations set for you. And I think this movie is going to turn into one of those genres. Very soon, it's going to turn into a genre we recognize.
Please be soon.
But in the beginning, being generous to the movie, I wonder if the idea is we want to disorient everybody so they don't know what the hell is happening here. And that is, to its credit, in the book, that is what you're feeling at the beginning of the book. You don't know what is happening here. Now, one of the things the book does that's interesting is the book starts to, if I remember right, it sometimes gives you the perspective of the entity that is doing these things too. Like it gives you sort of its perspective on things slightly. Like you'll see a little vignette where like a raccoon or something or a fox is going across a field and then it sees a raccoon and it's going to pounce on the raccoon, but the raccoon separates into two raccoons in front of it. And then the raccoons multiply and then attack the fox. I remember this. It's like little vignettes like that we're not getting in this movie.
Oh, no.
But things,
That would have been cool.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Right. And also we're cutting back to Timothy Flight's in the plane and he's talking about the Mayans. The Mayans. And I do like him because the FBI agents are putting a little mustard on their nothing roles. Like, the guy's like, what is this Mayan stuff? A little eerie in our current times in this country to hear Timothy Flight say at the beginning, he goes, when he's in the plane, he goes, I would like to remind you that though I am not a U.S. citizen, I am here in this country. So therefore I am subject to the same civil rights as you U.S. citizens are.
Yes. This does feel like a kidnapping.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually was like, ooh, wow, that really hits right now.
Yeah.
And so they're joking about Elvis and things. So we get the feeling he's on a plane. He's heading to wherever this is going on.
Yeah. Well, this is where he believes that something big and malignant, I guess, is taking a town or the Mayans, or my favorite example is the Roanoke where Croatoan, where they just all of a sudden disappeared.
They're eerie instances, I have to say, when you read about them.
Fun fact is, I think, Siri or whoever is watching and listening to my every move because I just watched a 25-minute documentary on what really happened at Roanoke. And it was disappointing. Wow. They didn't get sucked up into a void.
They have a live show when you go to, Amanda and I used to vacation down in North Carolina on the Outer Banks, and it's right near Roanoke. And they actually have a big live show. It's almost like Eerie Legends of Salem, but it goes on all year round, and it's a massive production. It's called The Lost Colony.
Ooh.
But it's big. It's like a North Shore Music Center type of scale of a show that people go to see. So I saw that, and it's like but I didn't get any answers, Eric. I didn't.
Well, I have some answers.
But I think you might enjoy it more than Phantoms.
I did enjoy it more than Phantoms. I enjoyed the documentary.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so they land. It's a whole bunch. Wait, no, it's just the three of them at first.
Oh, the
plane lands, right? The helicopter.
Well, the plane doesn't. We don't see the plane land. They cut to the military bases gearing up.
Oh,
There's we're seeing like tons of soldiers getting ready and running around, and big gates opening and trucks driving through it. So we're like, oh, the military's starting to mobilize. And we cut back to the Ben Affleck and the two women are in the police station still, and we're way ahead of it because we know the story, but the bodies that they had in a room are disappeared.
Gone.
They're gone. But once again, Ben Affleck goes, locked doors, no windows, just like the room in the hotel. And at this point, you're like, oh my gosh, is this?
No shit.
You're so, and of course, they have to have the faucets dripping and dripping and dripping. So they have to keep showing us that. But there's not going to be too much of a payoff on that. So then Affleck, what I love about this, he just cracks open with his gun butt, the snack machine. I was like, that. I guess he's hungry. He like smashes open the candy machine and starts chowing on Zagnut bars and things like that.
He does. I kudos to him because he picked my favorite candy bar. There's a Payday in there.
Yes,
full size Payday. My thought was he's going to cut himself. There's still a lot of glass there. Why don't you take time and remove the glass?
Yeah,
yes.
We're going to get to some glass and how dangerous it is.
Because an important part of our exploration of this movie is him cracking open a candy bar case.
Yes, yeah, he needs a candy bar.
Exciting part of the movie.
Well, he needs that wrapper, Eric, because we need a little hope. We need a little hope.
Is that why?
This is the part. These are the things in the movie, Eric, where we're at a point in the movie where does this scene need to be happening? You know, she's like, she got the tears. You see you know how we as actors get with like a little, the eyes are moist. We always like a moist eye when it's getting really tense. And so she's, how can you be so sure things are going to turn out? And he shows her the candy wrapper, says it's all going to work out or something on the inside of the candy wrapper. And I really was, Eric, at this point. I'm like, get Timothy Flight here.
Can we
and get these soldiers here now, because this movie needs to to change if this is what you're doing, right? Okay, you're on the same page as me. And then he comes out of the they come out to hear a helicopter, and I'm like, okay, thanks. So this is Timothy Flight. Timothy Flight's coming in on the helicopter. The helicopter flies over them, and Affleck goes, infrared photography, because he knows everything about military operations. They're not even going to stop. They're not even going to come down. And I'm like, what? When are we? I just saw them all leaving the thing. Oh my God. So
you know so much at 17.
But finally, the army comes rolling down the street in the two labs, but it isn't as big of a force as I thought was going to come rolling into the town. I guess they're sending just these specialists because they bring Timothy Flight there, and he goes in, and we're seeing that there's people in suits and everything just suited up.
Yeah, the hazmat. They're like the hazmat suits with the light inside. And my kid is making a cosplay outfit right now. Mm-hmm. He made a helmet, and it's lit on the inside. It looks really cool. You can't see a damn thing when you're in that helmet.
But we need to see their faces in movies. That's why we always see that. And I'm just thinking, Eric, because I was in the military, and I'm like, these actors, man, there is nothing worse than wearing that full chemical outfit, that full, I mean, they had full, what we used to call mop gear, and you have the weapon, and it just brought me right back. I was like, oh, I hate it. You're sweating in that you're sweating in that mask. It's like, it's just sweat pouring down. I was like, oh, I hope maybe it was really cold in Colorado and they were thankful for it. But I just felt bad. But
So
the actors,
you pull that? Do you still have that outfit? You pull it out like every Thanksgiving or something?
oh no, that one they keep, the Army keep. They don't give you that one. And then they come out. There's a general, and he comes out and he's in the suit. And what I like, a little detail, all those Army guys have their names stitched on their suits, like Copperfield, I think is the name of the general that's in charge. And then when they cut to Timothy Flight, Peter O'Toole, he's in the suit too, and they got a piece of masking tape that says Flight on his thing. So I'm like, oh, that detail of they gave him a thing, but of course they wouldn't have his name stitched and ready. So they did give him
good. See things like that with that kind of detail. You think somebody's put some effort, into the wrong place maybe, but some effort. And I'm sure the another writing thing that I thought was fun, not necessary. I wanted this film to be just plain scary, but they keep going back to some little bits of comedy. But Copperfield, which the name, I have a joke for that one too. But when he says, what do you have here? Is it chemical, biological, or other? And Ben Affleck goes, I'm thinking it's other. But he wasn't funny before. He wasn't funny.
But that's the trailer line, right, Eric? That's what they call. That's the line you want to put in the trailer. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Are they dead? Deadish. Same thing.
Yes. Yeah. Right. That's what you want there. And so these people are deploying. So we got little teams here. They're teams of these people. There's a guy leading one of them. There's an Asian scientist. She's a female that's leading one. And there's two guys who are they're going to check out the sewers to tap into the power supply. So we got these three different teams that are going out, and they're going through the town. And I do kind of like this. One of the things on this where they're going through and they got all their lights and their testing equipment, and there's a blender just going in this, and I'm like, oh, it's been going since everybody disappeared. It's just a blender with a smoothie in it, just going, and they're all going. So everything's set up, payoff in this movie, because earlier Timothy Flight was talking about the Mayans disappeared. He said they prepared an elaborate dinner, never eaten because they disappeared before, right? And so the scientists are in one of the houses, and they literally say, they were about to have dinner.
Why?
Something happened.
This is why you don't need to rewatch this movie, because there's nothing that you can pick up on.
We already know this, right? We already know this. We already know
can we go, this. All right, can we just go to the church, please? Can we just
We're at the church. We're here.
Go there?
This is the church.
Thank God. The church at least has something.
Well, this is where the movie, like I said, we're no longer in the movie that we were in before. We're now in.
Oh, I am.
You're going to be there forever.
I'm in the movie.
We're now in the church. They're in the church. Timothy Flight's with this group.
Yes,
so Peter O'Toole.
Yes.
Yeah, they see look at this by the statue of Mary. It's an offering.
Undigested remains. Undigested remains.
Yes, that's what he says.
I almost want to do Katharine Hepburn. Undigested remains.
Yes.
Look at that.
And not only that, they've seen bodies left here and there. And then Peter O'Toole goes, and something put aside for later, like a spider might do.
Right. But what do we need to know that? Can we just guess that this entity? Okay. So here's what we know now. Peter O'Toole believes that it's an entity that's been around for a long time. And what it does is it just decides to go up and feed or whatever it's doing. So now we're getting into that. But do we need as an audience to think, oh, this is undigested remains, and this is it's saving this for later? Can we surmise for ourselves, or at least have some mystery as to why?
This is Eric. This is the problem with the person who wrote the book, writing the screenplay, right? Going like, I want to make sure, I want to try to be cagey, but I want to make sure the audience is understanding. I don't want to give them too much early, but I want to make sure they're understanding, and so they're overwriting exposition and dialogue and things like that. But we're gonna get some action here, right?
Yes, all of a sudden.
But not yet. Not yet, because then we have the other guy who looks down a drain he's looking down the drain. He hears a little voice singing, "Jesus loves me." Yes, I know, right?
Yeah.
And then he puts his fingers down the drain and it spews up. So you're like, whoa, it spews up. And he's like, get it off me, get it off me. And then he's like, oh, it's just sewerage. And I was pissed. At this point, I know you're getting frustrated too. I'm like, stop with the fake outs, man. Stop with, at this point of the movie, stop with the fake outs. Why is the creature suddenly sending harmless sludge up to attack this guy?
Well, as we're learning, I don't know if now's the time for it, but as we're learning, is this entity, now that it's feeding on human beings and we're becoming smarter, it seems to somehow realize that it's a fun thing to do to terrorize people,
I guess, right?
And I'm like, okay, but that scene, yes, I expected his face was going to melt off. So did we need that? No.
Yeah, and then and then they're also cutting to the two guys are down in the sewer. They're working down there. There's two guys down there, but there's a guy who goes into a house. These are regular soldiers, and he comes into a room, and there's a guy who looks like one of the zombies from Dawn of the Dead. He's lying in the bed, a bald guy, and he's all veiny and everything.
Oh my God. I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, this is the Dawn of the Dead zombie. They rehired them for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's strange is they look on his wall, and what I like is they don't comment on it.
For one.
But on his wall are all these creepy, weird pictures of whoever this guy was. He's living in this Colorado town, but he has all these creepy, weird pictures of creatures, strange creatures on his wall. And then the guy turns around, he's gone. He's not in the bed anymore. And behind him, we just see sort of the silhouette backlit, and the door just closes behind that guy. So we think that guy's now animated and up. So that sort of kicks off, that's starting to kick off the action we're going to get now, because we're going to see the dog enter the picture.
Oh, the dog.
So these filmmakers have seen The Thing, clearly.
Yeah. The Dean Koontz dog. Dean Koontz and the dog.
Yes, right. Watchers was one of his famous
always
books.
A dog.
There's always a dog.
Always a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But this one only for this wonderful, horrific scene that we finally get, which is the dog. It's a dog. And you don't see any other pets. There's no other life around here. So just the dog.
No. And so they come in there and they're like, oh, the dog must have lived through it. And Peter O'Toole, but how did he live through it?
Because we need to hear him say, and he's like, something like that. Don't touch that dog. Don't touch the dog.
And the dog's back ripples.
Yeah,
we see it sort of rippling, and then it comes out tentacles, which are pretty good. Yeah. This is good stuff, Eric. Right? I was wondering if you thought,
yes,
this is good.
It looks very. It's not. I don't know if it's practical or not, but it's coming out of the dog and ramming into all the hazmat guys.
Yeah, and it like goes through their visors and shields into their face and then pins them like up on a wall.
Yeah.
And it's shooting out, and now other people are shooting at things, and it goes into one guy, and it seems like it goes through his mask, and the big tentacle goes in and it disappears. Like there's nothing. And then he's sort of possessed or something.
Yeah,
and he starts shooting.
Some of them get empty. And I think that's where this happens is, one of the guys gets up. Is that what happens?
Yes, that guy, it came out of his thing. Yeah. And meanwhile, down in the sewer, those guys are down there. Velasquez, I remember the guy's name. Velasquez.
That's a great name for a red shirt.
Velasquez. It just he's down there, and suddenly something's attacking him. But once again, we're getting that here with its choppy cinematography. So I don't think we actually ever even see anything in this scene. No creature. And he has a really cool gun. He has some gun that has like some strange front of it that shoots things out like this. It was a weird gun that he's shooting, but then he runs back to try and go up out of the sewer, and it grabs him. It actually is a good shot, and it drags him down the sewer, down the sewer, but you don't see anything. You don't see tentacles. Right. So you've already seen the creature. So So Velasquez is dead,
I think this is, if I remember, this is where at the point where, was it Corporal Copperfield? What's his name? General?
Yes.
Yeah. And the general, it's the general, what was that out on the street?
Well, it's he's walking by the sewer.
Yeah.
That's the thing that where Velasquez and that other guy just disappeared.
Yeah.
And there's like a little puddle of black stuff on the ground.
Yes.
And the general is walking with Ben Affleck in them, and he sort of steps in it. And it starts coming up his leg. It's a good effect too.
Yep.
And he's doing a great job, that actor, because I love the line. He's like, Dr. Flight, what is this? Let's what's as if that can help him somehow. And the tentacles go like into his suit and up, and then his visor just starts filling with black goo all the way to the top.
Yes.
And he falls forward and crashes.
And disappears. The body disappears. So here's waiting so long to say this. General Copperfield does a magic trick and makes himself disappear.
But he also, after his visor breaks and everything, this is good. They don't have to do this in this part of the movie.
They didn't.
He opens his mouth and he pulls a shard of glass out of a big kind of shard of glass out of his mouth. It's kind of a good effect. It looks real. He's pulling this big shard out, and then he spits on it, and it turns into a lizard, a little baby lizard. And he tells the way that the creature speaks to people now is they open their mouth. They just these dead people that are now possessed by it or whatever, this entity. They open their mouth and sounds. They don't move their mouth. Sounds come out, and it's people. It's their voice, I think.
Yeah, and it's only for us, because why wouldn't the entity make their mouths move? He's been doing the entity's been doing so much shit. He can't take the time to make the mouths move. That's lazy. That's a lazy entity.
But he tells him,
study it, right?
Study me. Study me. Witnesses to the miracle.
Yeah.
Write the gospel, he says to Timothy Flight.
So we're thinking there's a religious theme here, like because the Bible tells me so. Patsy Cline is gone. So that whole thing's gone. We're not hearing about I fall to pieces. Now it's all about gospel and religion.
Yeah. And
so
I love what was it? Is Peter O'Toole. He says, I have to run an analysis. It is what I was born.
Oh my God.
Very over dramatic. I love him though. So they got to do that. And they're talking about Peter O'Toole, the Ben Affleck and them. And they're like, it's like he's a disciple of it or something. And so I think they're wanting us to feel like now Peter O'Toole is maybe obsessed with this thing. They're adding these things in. But he starts to study it. He brings up this idea, which I thought was cool. I remembered it from the book about flatworms. I guess if you put flatworms and you make them negotiate a maze, then you grind them up. And this is who thought to do? You grind up the flatworms and you feed them to another group of flatworms. Those flatworms will now actually negotiate the maze faster. So I looked this up, and this is bullshit.
It is.
This
bullshit.
Is not.
Yeah.
Okay, you looked it up too. I was like, this is not true.
Flatworms, and as an audience, we're going, oh yeah, flatworms. You know, flatworms. Yeah. Everybody's got flatworms in their house.
Well, this is sad when you feel like Tremors was more scientifically accurate than this movie.
Flatworms, and they're in that big whatever it is.
It's a rolling lab that's armored. They keep telling us it's armored. It's fully armored.
It's has a variety of test tubes with whatever you can imagine.
Yeah, all sorts of microbes and things in it. Yeah, so he's saying that this is the oldest living thing that he's talking about, this ancient enemy. It's the oldest living thing that lives deep down in the earth.
Yes,
it comes up centuries, maybe every decade or so, to feast on humans. And part of it, he said, is most of it just eats stuff that's in the earth. It doesn't, it gets its filled. But it eats humans. Humans are a very small part of its diet, of its overall diet.
Like fiber. Humans are the fiber.
Yeah. Like the supplements. The humans are the supplements.
The supplement, it's a daily vitamin C of human. And is this when we discover that because of humans, it absorbs everything, so it absorbs your knowledge, and that's why it's able to do this stuff. It figures out that, I think this is where it is. The entity figures out that, humans fear entities like a god and a devil, so I'm going to play with that. But this is where we're discovering, this thing's been goofing with the humans the whole time. So why is it now has a sense of humor? So like, I fall to pieces because everybody's falling apart. And then the Liev Schreiber coming back and saying, hey, you want to see something cool, and scaring the girl, our snow bunny. So it's like we're realizing it either is now very intelligent because of humans, or it just likes to goof around based on. And that's what you said about the book, right? With the raccoon thing, that's where you get an idea of it.
It was messing around with the fox. Yeah, it was like it was messing around with it. And also, there is a good line in here that would be good in another movie. This concept is, they say they're absorbing everything, but it's not even just our knowledge of what we experience in the real world. She says it can absorb things we've seen in movies, or our dreams, or things we just conjure up in our head to scare us. And then it absorbs that, and it can actually present that to people. Yeah, like it sort of reminded me of the it phenomenon. Like in the movie, Pennywise can use what we can.
Yeah, and in the movie, they really only do that with the moth monster. So it doesn't make any other monsters.
Right.
It just does the goop, which you think, this is the creature, is the goop. Because it's not being a monster. So
like I said, it doesn't utilize that. She says that, but it doesn't, we don't see that in the movie.
Yeah.
And then of course it comes on and tells, tell the world.
Yeah.
It's coming on the computer screens. It's taken over the computer screens in the lab.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Well, this is me kind of trying to jump ahead because I just realized that, oh my gosh, we still have more stuff to talk about. Which I love about you and me, Art, is even with this film, we could spend over 2 freaking hours talking
we can go fast through this, Eric, because this part I have in my notes, this is a lot. For this point of the movie, there is a lot of talk. A lot. Because what Timothy Flight discovers is that it's an entity, it's a creature, and Ben Affleck starts saying like, well, if it's a creature, we can kill it. And I remember that from the book too. Like, okay, it's not supernatural. It's an actual physical
so how do we
creature.
Kill it? Yeah.
And so how do we kill it? And he has to deduce what is it, and he comes up with it's like petroleum jelly.
Yes, it's a big lubricant. This creature's a lubricant for the earth. Likes to spend time with itself in the bedroom.
And I'm like, okay.
Its parents are always wondering why it's got the door closed. But the whole gecko thing is even a payoff because it takes the form of a gecko for no reason, and then it turns back to the goop. It's like, look what I can do.
We should point out that dog that went crazy and killed everybody in the church is always sitting outside the lab looking at them. They always see the dog is out there. I think we're supposed to be scared of this. The idea is, because it looks like a cute dog.
Yeah.
That dog looks like you would not be scared of it at all in regular life, but they want us. I think they think what they're doing is going like, ooh, we're going to take this cuddly looking dog and then you'll be scared of it because it's
because it exploded into a thing. But that scene where Ben Affleck has to go back and forth to get the
useless.
My God, what
was he like? I know. Oh my gosh,
he's getting the guns to fire the what are the little shots like?
Yeah, interminable. That scene is so long, and I think the idea is supposed to be like. The dog is doing a great job, though. I have to say, the dog does some good acting in this.
Yeah,
the dog, because you do believe the dog is like the hell's going on? What are you guys up to?
Yes.
Like, what do you, because we have to say they've cut the power and everything so that the thing can't listen to them.
Yes.
And so this dog is out there. Ben Affleck has to go someplace else. And the dog's kind of following Ben Affleck. But I thought the dog did a good job because I didn't believe the dog was like,
one of my favorite scenes is when the dog sniffs Ben Affleck's crotch. It sticks its face in his crotch.
And I'm sure Ben Affleck in this scene is acting with the dog.
Yeah.
He's got to act with the dog. And he's like, I just want to go to my trailer and make out with Rose McGowan in a few minutes and then go skiing with Peter O'Toole.
Yes. So I guess their goal here is to now, they make one little thing that's supposed to be a payoff where Ben Affleck says, well, how do you know we're going to get all of it? And Peter O'Toole's like, well, there could be a piece of it that may get away. We have to make sure, some shit like that.
Yeah,
so they have
because
to see the whole creature in order to shoot the virus that kills.
Because the problem is this thing can send off. This is what the phantoms of the title are. It can send off little satellite pieces of itself. That's what we're seeing when we see like a creature, like this dog. This large entity that's down under the ground has sent off now something that turns into this dog. And it looks like that's what and they call them the phantoms or drones. Now, that was my theory earlier when we heard it taking a shit. It's shitting out the phantom. Right. That's what I think. I think, Eric, that it craps out like these creatures. It goes, oh, and then it just kind of, right?
Yes,
like the moth appeared right after that.
Yes, or it has an emotional issue where it can't poop alone. So it has to call people in order to successfully poop. I can't do this by myself. Just stay with me on the phone.
Hold on, I'm pooping out Liev Schreiber.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's the problem is you got this massive thing underground. You can't send a nuke, you can't send this, but we can send this microbe because it's something they use to clean up oil spills.
Right. Conveniently.
And I have no idea if it actually is true.
Oh yeah, they use it all the time. All the time. Yeah. They use it on flatworms usually.
Yeah.
Oil-based flatworms. So Peter O'Toole has to go out and now summon the creature from the sewers. Mm-hmm. Is this where the water payoff is? What is the water?
They never really pay off that for a movie, Eric, where they have explained every single thing to us as it goes along. They never connect the dots for the audience, which we know is having read the book. The way it's getting around this town is through the water system because it's underground, so it can come up through the pipes. That's why the woman who was locked in the bathroom, where did she go? That's where that's what it's using is the pipes.
But it doesn't matter either because it can split off. And
I know, but they put that's why we're seeing all that emphasis on dripping water and pipes. That's what because I remember in the book, that was a big thing is like, well, that's how it's sort of getting around to kill people.
So where it works is like Stephen King's It lives in the sewers. So that's why they keep calling it the fact, it can make sounds up through the sewers, but it doesn't use the sinks necessarily as a mode of transportation, I don't think. But no. I didn't get that at all.
No, it didn't pay it off. It didn't,
that's
you didn't miss anything like that.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
And so now they've got this microbe that they said if they can get it into it, it'll just start multiplying. I think every second, 11 seconds, it doubles. So they're going to shoot the creature and it's going to kill it. Yeah. Basically, it's going to disperse the jelly.
And they think that the creature also has an ego.
Yes.
So they got to play with the ego. And who better to taunt the thing than Peter O'Toole, right?
Yeah. And this was a little twist that I saw coming here because I think they were trying to set this up earlier. Like I said, when she said, I think he's acting like he's this thing's disciple. I think what they want us to think at this point is Peter O'Toole goes out to the sewer. And this is great. Lawrence of Arabia, one of our greatest actors, Peter O'Toole, is delivering a monologue to an open sewer cover.
Sewer cover. Yep. Sewer cover, so round and sweet. You don't know.
So he's like, I want to tell the world. I want to tell the world.
And you think he's actually going to be on the creature's side.
Yeah, because he suddenly says, they are trying to destroy you.
Yeah.
Inside. And they think inside, oh my God, he's on the creature's side. But what he's really doing, Erik, is taunting it.
Stroking its ego.
He starts stroking its ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. His line, Erik, gods have nothing to fear, or do they?
Or do they? We don't know. I love it. And so the creature comes out.
Well, no. Sends,
yes.
It's a zombie army comes.
Yes. First, it's one guy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are these the drones? Now, how can this thing make 400 people reappear?
Yeah.
Here's my other problem.
He crapped them out, Erik.
He pooped them out. He had a serious poop. He used a lot. You know what he did? Metamucil this time. So they all came out nice and easy.
But he drank that smoothie that was in that place.
Oh my God, Art, that was the whole reason for the smoothie. Yeah. It's like, I gotta keep mixing it. It's gonna help me out later. But the thing that these nitpickings, of course, but if he reproduces all the people, so they all have no jewelry then?
Or buttons even on their clothes, so their pants would just fall down. They'd be they do. They look like they're good call, Erik. Good call.
You think the extra wrangler was like, all right, everybody, make sure you're not wearing any watches. All right, take that button off. So
it's a big army of it's zombies. And I'm like, Erik and I cannot get away from zombies.
No, we can't.
Get
we
away.
Tried.
We cannot get away.
They all should have been naked. That would have been scary.
Right. You're right. They all should have been naked.
Yep.
So there are 400 of them, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. And then they start converging in a purple tornado. That thing that in the middle of them starts swirling, and you're getting the idea because Peter O'Toole has said, "I want to see the whole of you."
Yeah.
So he wants to get it all there. So it's going to take all these people coming up out of the sewer and swirl around it, and we're going to see the whole mass of this thing, right? As it's swirling together.
Which it's similar to the drawing that guy had. And I thought, where is that story of the guy that's drawing? How did he see the creature? Give me a break.
I don't know. I don't like, yeah.
They're all floating around and everything like that.
It's coagulating together in this weird purple. It's all purple light.
Yeah.
And they come out and they just start firing these vials of this microbe into the tornado. It looks kind of silly.
Yeah.
And
he has a great line. Peter
which one's that?
It's because we don't know. As a viewer, we don't know. You got to hit us over the head when he goes, infected. Infected. Infected.
Yeah.
And it goes, you can't tell if they really killed it because it goes into the sewer, right?
That's right. But Ben Affleck is going to go down and make sure he finishes it off.
He's going to make sure. But in the meantime,
he's gonna. In the meantime, they go to the police station. The ladies,
find the two girls are doing,
and they're just loading up the shotguns.
Yeah,
and suddenly we're gonna get our friend Stu's back in the picture.
Yep.
Right.
And this was where I thought, Art, where you said, of course, Weinstein asshole face is like, hey, you got to do this movie. But I thought when I saw this, I said, oh, that's why Liev Schreiber's taking this role. Because he gets killed off 30 minutes into the film, but then he comes back.
And this is pretty good, I have to say. He comes back and he's after the girls, and they he does his whole want to see something,
Hey, you want to see something cool?
They fire a ton of shotgun blasts into him. And then, he's on.
Art, it's the same thing. He's telling you, he's like, what did you do to me? Like, we know what we did to you. Why? Dean Koontz is like, I've got to make sure it's clear. It's got to be clear. But he turns into like a half of them, right? Comes out as a monster.
Well, tentacles start to come out of where his legs are. It's like his torso is still intact and he's on the ground. You can tell that he's on the floor and he can't move. The actor can't move a lot because they have the tentacle contraption that two guys are probably under the floor operating these tentacles. But they look pretty good. It looks pretty because it's not brightly lit. And so it's in this in this hallway with all these pipes and everything. And these tentacles I thought it looked very good. He's kind of being himself and the tentacles are moving around and coming after the girls.
He's making lots of jokes here too.
Oh boy.
Well,
he goes,
that's where it's like,
what a trip I've had. How low can you go? And he limbos under a pipe.
So is that the entity reaching into his personality, or what is going on there?
Yes, I don't know exactly, but he's moving along. The tentacles are pulling him along the floor.
And what could be a scary moment is now comedy. So
yeah, it is comedy, but I was okay. I was okay because I had abandoned this being a scary movie a long time ago. So I was like, okay, well, we'll have some fun. And I do like the effects. And I'm like, this is the movie. The second half of the movie has some stuff with effects and things. It's a different movie. It's a creature movie. But this is not, it doesn't all cohere. So, yeah. So they eventually, he comes up through the floorboards. They're upstairs and he's lit from below. It looks like a zombie coming up through the floorboards.
It is good. That part is good because, and then they finally,
well, they shoot him, and then his head turns into like a big vagina or something, right? Like
yes, indeed, it does. It sure does.
Flowers open like.
Yep, that flower open. But
and then they blow that off. They blow that to pieces. But I think are they using the biolog?
Oh no, they do. They use the.
They do. They get him with the.
With that, I was trying to figure out. I thought they were shots, like syringes.
That's right. Yeah.
Shooting them out of guns.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So they get him with that, and meanwhile, Ben Affleck's down in the sewer because we're so invested, Erik, in Ben Affleck's backstory.
We are.
That we're so invested with his tragic past in this movie. I was just on the edge of my seat as to how it's going to resolve. Right?
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, it's the kid.
Yeah, it's the kid that he wasted.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense. So in honor of it, I'll finish this.
Please.
Thank you. Podcast. I'm gonna put the hat on. Yeah, I gotta.
Like a freaking chocolate.
I don't think Ben Affleck has the hat on at this point.
No,
but he's doing things. So
this
little kid.
This helps.
He sees the little kid.
Through it.
This was very heavily giving me It vibes. This
whole
100%. Section, right?
Yep.
Very heavily. And the kid, he sees the kid that he killed in the past. And the kid says, has a gun. This little kid is raising the gun up. He says, I'm going to shoot you. And this time the kid goes like, what did Ben Affleck say? This time I'm not going to miss.
The kid goes, are you going to shoot me? Are you going to shoot a child like you did before or something like that? It goes, yeah, but this time I'm going to miss. And then he shoots the vials. Yeah. And then it gets infected from the vials. So we're leading to believe that this kid is the last bit of the entity.
Yes. And he starts to,
which doesn't make sense to me, because if he said, I want to see all of you, why does it think, oh, yeah, but I'm going to save little pieces just in case?
Yeah.
If it's part of the whole thing, when it breaks off, is it a separate creature? Or
that's what
a whole
that has. Is it like an earthworm? Where you chop it and then it's own. It's now two earthworms.
But then it can be anywhere it wants to be at any time. It could be all over the world. Right?
I know. Why does it have to all be together? I don't know.
Why do hats like that have to be made, Art? Why? If this isn't your MO with the hat from now on, I think people don't get to see the visuals.
And we should say when he gets the kid, this is the other thing that was popular early 90s through the Jacob's Ladder thing, where the head starts flipping back and forth and going back and forth, and everybody was using it in horror movies for a long time. I'm gonna take the hat off now because I feel ridiculous. I don't know how Ben Affleck had that on so long into the movie because
air conditioning.
I couldn't. Yeah, that's true.
It was air conditioning. But the kid. I would have liked to have seen the creature like fall apart, like just dissolve. But
but the kid flipped out. He did that type of thing.
So is it?
Because I guess we got to hear it.
Movie done.
Not quite
done.
Not quite, because we hear the screams throughout the town of the creature dying.
So why do we hear the screams of the town of creature dying? Because they're all part of the same creature then.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it sounds like those screams are coming from everywhere.
Well, then that means there's pieces of it that are infected.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to be clear.
I guess Ben Affleck and the Doctor, are they getting together, or are they?
Oh my God, that stupid tender moment with the freaking Band-Aid before. Ugh.
I guess they're getting together. Maybe the actors got together.
Probably.
Yeah,
way
after the
before
shoot.
J-Lo. It was way before J-Lo.
Way before J-Lo. But we are going to end with Timothy Flight, Peter O'Toole in an armchair.
Oh, on the television.
He's on the television. He's in an armchair presenting about
an armchair. It's a documentary.
Which I wonder if it was in Peter O'Toole's actual house that
please tell me it was.
Filmed it in.
Please tell me
because Eric, I don't know if you noticed, he had, when they pull back on one of the angles of him in that chair, there's a trophy that looks like you get for bowling or something right in front of it. I was like, what is that trophy? But he's like, all those souls, maybe they're at peace.
Oh, yes.
He goes, the earth endures. Countless species have endured and then perished. I wanted to memorize it. He delivers it. It reminded me of, why can't I remember his name right now? But the guy, remember Ed Wood?
Yeah.
The guy in the chair. Pull the string. Pull the
Martin
string.
Landau?
Yeah, but because the way he's seated in that chair, it just reminded me of that moment that's in, is it Plan 9 from Outer Space or something? Or I expected him to do that. And then we cut and we see this is being played on a TV and we're at a bar. And
here's what I love about this bar is that they're watching this news documentary.
Enough for a guy to be engrossed in it enough to go like, what is this crap
about?
And then there's a very attractive woman sitting next to this guy.
You know how you find this ilk in a dive bar?
I was like, she looks like, I'm like, why isn't she in more movies? And I looked her up, and she did have a career in television and everything. She did go on to be in movies and things and TV shows. Not playing the FBI agent or something like that. But I immediately was like, this woman's really attractive for this dive bar, and so she's giving him a hard time. And then we hear the laugh, Eric. We hear the laugh down the bar.
Wait, yeah, let's get that. I wonder if he had
and we turn and it's Stu. Stu's sitting down the end of the bar and he asks, well, hey, want to see something? And then cut to the credits, which are played under Falling to Pieces. I Fall to Pieces. With the credit. And we're done, Eric. Now we're done with this one.
Really?
We're done. We did it. Phantoms.
We're done. If you had told me, Art, that we're going to talk about Phantoms for over 2 hours, I would be like, you're out of your mind. This is a 20-minute podcast.
Yeah.
There's so much that we can grab out of this thing.
And I think there's stuff to be learned from this as far as how movies work and don't work. I think this just doesn't work. This movie is written kind of stiltedly. It takes way too long for things to amp up. We put our finger on it earlier. The suspense or the propulsion just isn't there in the early things. And you often say, even some movies we've reviewed that are 1980s movies that are straight to VHS almost. But then you like the characters, you kind of like them, and you like going through this journey with them. I have nothing to fault these people for, but I don't look at them as I really want to see Dr. Jennifer get through this. I really want to see her and Rose McGowan and Ben Affleck get through this because I like them so much.
See, I just want to see Rose McGowan at a gun show.
Right.
Like at a rifle range. That's all I want to see.
Later, she gets to do that. Planet Terror, Rose McGowan gets to strap a thing on the side.
Her gun,
her leg, her gun leg. Yeah,
that
right.
character in this would have been far better. Oh my God.
Right, Eric. Wow. The thing is, let's give that character, she's better than the sheriffs, or something at shooting. Let's explore that in fun ways. And when it becomes a creature feature at the end, so halfway through the movie, or 2/3, I should say, it starts to become a creature feature like The Thing. And we see some good stuff. We see some good special effects and moments and some creepy things. And earlier in the movie, I was not feeling any of that. It took like a long way to get there. And in the end, I just couldn't. The payoff was everything was rushed. I think you mentioned earlier. In the end, they're having to rush now through things. Yet they're stopping to do like intimate moments. And nothing really cohered and worked in this movie in the end. And so I'm not going to recommend that people watch Phantoms, even as something. I mean, Eric and I have obviously had a really good time with each other talking about it and making all these jokes, but it's not that fun of an experience to watch it. You said you got halfway through, you stopped taking notes, and you were right. Like, it's not a great experience.
And I watched. I didn't want to pay for the movie, so I watched it on Pluto. And even Pluto.
Did you have ads then?
Oh, with ads, I can't take ads, Art. I am not an ad person. I can't. I've been in commercials, but I can't watch commercials. So I said, okay, I'm going to watch parts of it again. And I went on Pluto, and Pluto didn't like the movie so much that it removed it from Pluto, and I had to rent it on Amazon Prime. And halfway through it, I started falling asleep. I was like, oh boy. Granted, I'm a little under the weather today, but I thought, all right, you know what? I did watch it 1 3/4 times already. So I'll let my memory
for this movie, Eric. That's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah. And so I think, does that sum up your?
I think I don't even have to.
Does that sound sign up your reaction to this movie? Sum it up.
It's like, did I like it? Should I like it? Yeah, it's just if you look at it objectively as for effects and things, okay. But as a film, I just think it should have stayed a book. Let your memory.
Yeah.
There's too much. Mm-hmm. It's too cool of a story to make it into a movie. You just couldn't do it.
They obviously couldn't. They couldn't. Or possibly if they had somebody else write the screenplay to it and found a way to make it engaging. Like we talked about, James Gunn wrote the last movie we talked about, Dawn of the Dead, the remake, and found some interesting things to do with that as a screenplay.
Maybe he should have
if you had somebody like... I know if you had somebody like James Gunn writing this, they might find a way to make it more fun, especially when the military comes in. But yeah, so that's it for Phantoms. We should sum it up, and I guess we'll. Oh God,
what's the problem?
No, we always get here, Eric, because we're always rushed and doing things and trying to prepare, and we haven't come up with like a rating system for our podcast where we have a rating system that we can give people at the end so they know what we think of movies that we see.
We do have a rating system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't apply to this movie because this movie's not going to get rated. It's just going to get an award.
Oh, you're giving Phantoms an award.
Yes.
It might be the first award Phantoms has ever got.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm giving this film the Timothy Flight Award for Ancient Enemy to Cinema.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, Eric, I thought you were going to go with cowboy hats.
For our. It's 4 out of 10 Stetsons. There you go. We could do that. Right. If we do need to get, yeah.
And now that we have a rating system, then we can apply that to every movie. We can apply
it as we have done. Wow. That's not exactly what I wanted to say. I'm just shocked that we've spent as much philosophical time on this film than we did Cabin in the Woods. What the hell is wrong with this? Tell me what is wrong.
So we're done with Phantom.
Oh my God, we're done with Phantom.
We did it. We made it through together on Phantoms. And so everybody, it's been great if you're listening. We appreciate all of you listening, subscribing to us. So please do that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, rate and review us. It really helps us to get the word out about the podcast. And you can reach us at midnightcinemapod@gmail.com. We always want to hear from you, anything that we might have missed or movies that you might want to hear us talk about. You can reach us there. You can also follow us more on midnightcinemapod.com. So, Erik, this has been great again. I have enjoyed talking with you about Phantoms.
Podcasts have nothing to fear. Oh, do they?
All right.
Yes, I can.
You dare. Yes, I'll see you next week.